Admiral James Stone stood at the massive window of Earth's Space Command Center, his weathered face reflecting off the reinforced glass as he watched humanity's dreams burn. The Mars colony, humanity's pride and greatest achievement, erupted in a series of devastating explosions that lit up the red planet's surface like deadly fireworks. "Sir," a young officer called from behind him, his voice shaking. "The alien fleet. They're broadcasting again." Stone didn't turn around. He couldn't take his eyes off the destruction. 20 years of human advancement, reduced to ashes in minutes. The colony had housed 5,000 people, all evacuated just hours before the attack. Thanks to their early warning systems, Stone thanked whatever gods might exist that they'd at least managed that much. The massive holographic display flickered to life in the center of the command room. A tall, blue-skinned creature appeared, its 4 eyes blinking in an unsettling pattern. The alien wore ornate robes covered in symbols that seemed to shift and change. "Humans of Earth," the creature spoke in perfect English, its voice carrying an artificial smoothness that suggested advanced translation technology. "I am High Chancellor Vex of the Galactic Council. Your species has been found guilty of unauthorized space expansion and technological development beyond your assigned level. This strike was your only warning." Stone finally turned, his face a mask of carefully controlled anger. Around him, dozens of officers and technicians worked at their stations, recording every word, every detail of the transmission. "Chancellor," Stone replied, keeping his voice steady, "we were unaware of any galactic laws restricting our development. We've never had contact with your council." The alien's upper eyes narrowed. "Ignorance of law is no excuse. Your species was scheduled for first contact in 50 of your Earth years, once you had proven yourselves worthy. Instead, you rushed ahead, polluting space with your primitive vessels and crude colonies." Behind Stone, hidden from the alien's view, teams of analysts were already at work. Every piece of technology visible in the transmission was being analyzed. Every word was being cross-referenced. They might be facing the superior force, but humanity would learn everything they could from this encounter. "The Council's decision is final," Vex continued. "You will dismantle all space operations immediately. Your ships will return to Earth. Your orbital stations will be destroyed. Comply within 1 Earth rotation, or we will do it for you." The transmission cut off abruptly. The command center erupted in controlled chaos. Officers rushed between stations, sharing information, preparing reports. Stone turned to his second-in-command, Colonel Lisa Roberts, who had been silently observing everything. "Get me the president," Stone ordered, "and activate Protocol Omega." Roberts' eyes widened. "Sir, Protocol Omega, that would mean?" "It means they don't know about everything," Stone said quietly. "They found our public space program, our visible colonies. But the deep sites." Roberts nodded and rushed to a secure terminal. Protocol Omega had been established 10 years ago, when the first pieces of alien technology had been discovered buried on Mars. The world's governments, for once united by the discovery, had agreed to create 2 space programs, one public, visible to any watching eyes, and one hidden deep beneath the surface of the Moon and Mars. Stone walked to the central tactical display, where a real-time map showed the alien fleet's positions. 12 massive ships, each larger than anything humanity had officially built, hung in high orbit around Mars. Their energy readings were off the charts. "Sir," a technician called out. "Deep Sight Alpha reports all systems green. The fleet is ready." Stone allowed himself a small smile. The aliens thought they were dealing with a primitive species, barely able to reach their own planet's satellite. They didn't know about the reverse-engineered ships hidden in the lunar caves. They hadn't detected the quantum communication networks that allowed instant coordination between Earth's hidden bases. Most importantly, they didn't know that humanity had been preparing for this exact scenario for years. "Send the coded message to all deep sites," Stone ordered. "Begin Operation Sleeping Giant, And get our people off those orbital stations before they're destroyed. We're going to let them think they've won. For now. As the command center buzzed with activity, Stone looked back at the view screen showing Mars. The colony's ruins still glowed red-hot against the planet's surface. The aliens thought this attack would frighten humanity into submission. They were about to learn a very important lesson about human nature. End of Part 1. Deep beneath the lunar surface, Dr. Rose Miller walked through the gleaming halls of Project Phoenix. The secret base hummed with activity as hundreds of scientists and engineers rushed to prepare humanity's response to the alien threat. Every step she took filled her with pride. This was humanity's greatest achievement, and the aliens had no idea it existed. "Doctor," called out her assistant, Tom Wells, running to catch up with her. "The final tests on the shield modulators are complete. You need to see this." They hurried to the massive testing chamber where a captured piece of alien technology floated in a containment field. It was a fragment of hull material from a crashed ship they'd found on Mars 10 years ago. The piece that had changed everything. "Run the test sequence," Rose ordered, her eyes fixed on the monitoring screens. The air crackled as energy beams struck the alien material. Previous tests had shown the material to be nearly indestructible. Until now. Under the new frequency they'd discovered, the seemingly impenetrable metal became as fragile as glass. "Send the data to Admiral Stone immediately," Rose said, allowing herself a small smile. "And prepare the upgrade packages for the fleet." In another section of the base, engineers worked on sleek ships that looked nothing like humanity's public space vessels. These ships were built with a perfect blend of human innovation and reversed-engineered alien technology. Their designs were unconventional, exactly what you'd expect from humans who'd learned to think outside the box. Colonel Roberts materialized on the main communication screen. "Dr. Miller, the Council's ships are beginning to target our orbital stations. They believe we're evacuating in panic." "Let them think that," Rose replied. "Our real fleet is almost ready." "How many ships do we have operational?" 15 attack vessels and 30 support ships, Roberts answered, all hidden in the lunar caves and deep Mars bunkers. "The alien scans can't penetrate our quantum shielding." Rose walked to the main window overlooking the underground hangar. The ships below were beautiful in a distinctly human way. While alien vessels were all curves and organic shapes, these were angular, aggressive, and purposefully intimidating. Humanity might have learned from alien technology, but they'd made it their own. "What about Project Titan?" Roberts asked quietly. Rose's expression turned serious. Project Titan was their ultimate weapon, developed by combining human nuclear technology with alien power systems. A last resort that she hoped they wouldn't need to use. "It's ready," she said simply. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the base. On the main screen, a new alert flashed. Alien ships were descending toward Earth. They were making good on their threats to destroy humanity's space capabilities. "All personnel to battle stations," Rose announced over the base-wide communication system. "This is not a drill. Operation Sleeping Giant is now active." The base erupted into controlled chaos as crews rushed to their ships. Years of training were about to be put to the test. Each crew member knew their role perfectly. They had prepared for this moment since the day the crashed ship was discovered. In her private office, Rose opened a secure channel to Admiral Stone. His hologram appeared before her, looking grimly satisfied. "Doctor," he nodded. "Are we ready?" "The fleet is armed with the new shield modulators," she reported. "The aliens' defensive systems won't know what hit them. Their overconfidence will be their downfall. They didn't even bother to upgrade their shields since the technology in that crashed ship." "Good," Stone replied, "because I'm tired of playing weak. The Council thinks they're dealing with primitives who will bow down in fear. Time to show them what happens when you back humans into a corner." Rose looked at the tactical display, showing the alien fleet moving into position around Earth. They were spreading out, making themselves vulnerable. They clearly didn't expect any resistance. "Remember," Stone added, We only need to hold them off until the rest of the fleet finishes upgrading. A few hours of fighting, and we'll show them humanity's real strength." As Rose watched the crews making final preparations, she felt a surge of pride. The aliens thought they were dealing with a simple, primitive species. They were about to learn that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology. It was their ability to adapt, innovate, and overcome any challenge thrown their way. The time for hiding was over. Now it was humanity's turn to strike. End of Part 2. Captain Michael Hayes sat in the command chair of the stealth ship Nightshade, watching as his crew made final preparations. The ship hung silently in the shadow of Earth's moon, hidden from the alien fleet's sensors. Through the main viewport, he could see 3 massive council ships moving into position to destroy Earth's space stations. "All systems ready, Captain," his weapons officer reported. "New shield modulators are online." "Remember," Michael said to his crew, "we only get one shot at surprising them. Make it count." The Nightshade was humanity's most advanced stealth vessel, built using technology that even the Council didn't possess. Its hull absorbed sensor scans instead of reflecting them, making it virtually invisible to alien detection systems. Admiral Stone's voice came through the secure quantum comm. "All ships, Operation Sleeping Giant is now active. Show them what humanity can do." Michael leaned forward in his chair. "Bring us up behind the nearest Council ship. Charge main weapons." The Nightshade moved silently through space, its engines running in stealth mode. The alien vessel ahead of them was enormous, nearly a mile long. But size wouldn't matter once their new weapons hit. In range, the weapons officer reported, "They still haven't detected us." Michael allowed himself a small smile. "Fire." The Nightshade's main cannon released a burst of energy that looked nothing like conventional weapons. The beam struck the alien ship's shields and passed right through them, as if they weren't there. The shot hit the engine section, causing a massive explosion that ripped through the vessel's rear quarter. Multiple ships powering up weapons. The sensor officer called out, "They're trying to locate us." But the Nightshade was already moving, its stealth systems making it impossible to track. Around Earth's orbit, more human ships emerged from hiding. They struck fast and hard, targeting the confused Council vessels with precise attacks. In the Council flagship, High Chancellor Vex watched in horror as his ships reported massive damage. "Impossible," he roared. "They're primitives. How are they bypassing our shields?" The answer came in the form of another explosion as a Council cruiser's main reactor went critical. The humans weren't just fighting back, they were winning. "Sir," Vex's tactical officer shouted, "we're detecting more human ships rising from their moon. They have technology that matches our own." On the Nightshade, Michael coordinated with other ship captains as they executed their battle plan. The Council ships were bigger and more powerful, but they were also slower and less maneuverable. Human vessels darted between them like wolves attacking larger prey, striking vulnerable points and disappearing before the aliens could respond. "This is impossible." A Council commander's transmission was intercepted. "Their ships move like nothing we've ever seen. They're not following any known combat patterns." That was exactly the point. While the Council relied on thousands of years of established military doctrine, humans had developed their own unique tactics. Every captain was encouraged to think creatively, to try unexpected approaches. Admiral Stone's voice boomed across all channels. "To all Council ships, you came to our system believing us weak. You threatened our world thinking we would surrender. That was your first mistake. Your second was giving us time to prepare." The Nightshade rocked as a lucky shot from a Council ship grazed their hull. But the damage was minimal, and Michael's crew responded with another precise strike that disabled the alien vessel's weapons. "Multiple Council ships are retreating." The sensor officer reported excitedly. "They're falling back to regroup." Michael watched as the massive alien vessels began pulling away from Earth, their formation in chaos. The Council had expected to find a primitive species cowering in fear. Instead, they'd found humanity's hidden fleet, armed with weapons they couldn't defend against. "Send word to Admiral Stone," Michael ordered. "Phase 1 is complete. The Council's monitoring stations are destroyed, and their fleet is in retreat." As the Nightshade regrouped with other human ships, Michael looked at the tactical display. This was just the beginning. The Council had vastly underestimated humanity's strength and determination. Now they would learn why that was a fatal mistake. The counterattack had begun, and humanity was just getting started. End of Part 3. Ambassador Thomas Reed stood before the emergency meeting of Earth's United Defense Council, his diplomatic uniform pristine despite having just returned from a secret meeting with representatives of 3 younger council races. The room was tense with anticipation. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, "the Council is in chaos. Our victory against their fleet has shattered their image of invincibility. Several younger races have reached out to us in secret." The room's main screen displayed images of various alien species. These were the races that had joined the Galactic Council more recently, often under threat of force. "The Archons were the first to contact us," Thomas continued. "They've been looking for a way to break free from Council control for centuries. Now they see us as their chance." Admiral Stone, attending via secure hologram from his command ship, spoke up. "Can we trust them? They've provided us with detailed information about Council fleet movements," Thomas replied. "Our intelligence teams have confirmed it's accurate. They're taking a huge risk by helping us." The Council chamber erupted in discussion. On one screen, Dr. Rose Miller's image appeared from the lunar base. "Ambassador, what about the Council's main fleet?" "That's the interesting part," Thomas said, pulling up a tactical map. "They're not moving it toward Earth as we expected. Our new allies tell us the Council is facing internal problems. Many races are questioning their leadership after our victory." The map showed dozens of Council worlds, with several highlighted in red. These were places where unrest was growing, inspired by Earth's successful resistance. "We've also discovered something else," Thomas continued. "The Council has been hiding advanced technology from its newer members. They keep other races weak to maintain control. When news of this spreads, it will cause even more chaos," Admiral Stone finished. "Perfect." Through secure channels, Earth's intelligence agents were already spreading evidence of the Council's deception. Videos of human ships defeating their superior fleet were being shared across alien networks. The myth of Council supremacy was crumbling. A junior diplomat rushed into the room, holding a datapad. "Ambassador, we just received a transmission from the Galactic Council. They're asking for negotiations." Thomas allowed himself a small smile. "They're trying to buy time. Their oldest tactic when facing a strong opponent. Let me guess, they're offering to forgive our transgressions if we agree to their terms." The junior diplomat nodded. "Send them this response," Thomas said. "Earth welcomes peaceful dialogue, but we will not discuss terms until the Council acknowledges our right to unrestricted space travel and technological development." Admiral Stone's hologram nodded approvingly. "Strong position. And while they're considering that, our new allies will continue providing us with intelligence," Thomas finished. "The Archons have already shown us weaknesses in Council defense systems that their own members don't know about." Dr. Miller spoke up again. "My team is working with data from the Archon scientists. Their insights into Council technology are invaluable. We're developing countermeasures faster than ever." The United Defense Council members looked pleased. Earth had not only survived the Council's attack, but was now positioned to reshape galactic politics. Their success had given hope to other races who had suffered under Council dominance. "One more thing," Thomas added. "Our intelligence network intercepted communications from the Council's inner circle. They're afraid. For the first time in thousands of years, they face a force they can't simply intimidate or overwhelm." The room fell silent as everyone absorbed this information. Humanity had done more than just defend itself. It had shaken the foundations of galactic power. "Keep our allies close," Admiral Stone ordered. But remember, they're supporting us because it serves their interests. We need to be ready for any possibility. As the meeting concluded, Thomas looked at the galactic map again. The Council had ruled through fear and manipulation for millennia. Now, humanity was offering something different: partnership based on mutual respect and shared strength. The political game had begun, and Earth was playing it masterfully. The next moves would determine not just humanity's fate, but the future of the galaxy itself. End of Part 4. The Arcturus system blazed with weapons fire as humanity revealed its greatest secret. Captain Hayes watched from the Nightshade's bridge as hundreds of quantum torpedoes launched from Earth's fleet, their strange energy signatures confusing the Council's sensors. All ships, execute attack pattern Delta. Admiral Stone's voice came through the command channel. Show them what Project Titan can really do. The human fleet was outnumbered 3-1. The Council had brought their main battle fleet, determined to crush Earth's resistance once and for all. 500 massive Council warships against Earth's fleet of 150 vessels. But numbers weren't everything. Quantum weapons hot. The Nightshade's weapons officer reported. Target locked on their flagship. Michael gave the order. Fire. The quantum torpedoes struck the Council ships. Instead of exploding against shields or armor, they simply phased through the defensive barriers. Where they hit, Council ships began to break apart from the inside, their mighty shields useless against weapons that ignored the normal rules of physics. Impossible. High Chancellor Vex's transmission was picked up by all ships. These primitives can't have developed quantum weaponry. The Council keeps those secrets. Dr. Miller's voice came through the secure channel. Actually, we developed it ourselves. Turns out humans are pretty good at thinking outside the box. The battle raged across the star system. Council ships tried to maintain their rigid formation, following combat doctrines that were thousands of years old. But human ships darted between them, attacking from unexpected angles, using strategies that made no sense to the Council commanders. They're breaking formation, Admiral Stone announced. All ships, execute Operation Thunderstrike. The human fleet suddenly split into smaller groups, each targeting specific Council vessels. It looked like chaos to the Council generals, but every move was carefully planned. While Council ships tried to turn their massive bulk to face new threats, human vessels struck their blind spots. Sir, the Nightshade's sensor officer called out. Council ships are firing on each other. They can't tell which ships are real and which are sensor ghosts. That was humanity's other secret weapon. Each human ship projected multiple fake sensor signatures, making it impossible for the Council to know where the real threats were. Their own massive fleet was working against them, ships holding fire for fear of hitting their allies. Michael watched as another Council dreadnought exploded, its quantum core breached by the new weapons. The Council had never imagined that humans could develop technology that surpassed their own. They had assumed that their thousands of years of advancement made them unbeatable. They were wrong. Admiral, Michael called through the command channel. Their left flank is collapsing. Should we press the attack? Do it, Stone ordered. Show them no mercy. They wouldn't have shown us any. The Nightshade led a group of stealth ships through the gap in the Council's formation. They struck from behind, their quantum weapons tearing through the Council's supposedly impenetrable defenses. High Chancellor Vex's voice came through again, this time filled with panic. All ships, retreat, fall back to the jump point. These humans, they're not primitive at all. Too late for that. Admiral Stone transmitted on all frequencies. You came to our home. You threatened our people. Now face the consequences. The battle lasted another hour, but the outcome was already decided. Council ships tried to retreat, but human vessels were faster and more maneuverable. By the time it was over, 300 Council ships were destroyed or captured. The rest fled in panic, leaving their damaged vessels behind. On the Nightshade's bridge, Michael received the final casualty reports. Human losses were minimal, just 12 ships destroyed, with most crews safely evacuated. The Council had lost more ships in this single battle than in the last 1,000 years combined. "Send word to Earth," Michael ordered. "The Arcturus system is secure. The Council's main fleet is broken." As the human ships regrouped, engineering teams began salvaging Council technology from the captured vessels. Each piece would make humanity stronger, better prepared for the battles yet to come. The Council had ruled the galaxy through fear and superior technology. Now humanity had shown that their technology wasn't so superior after all. The balance of power had shifted, and nothing would ever be the same. End of Part 5. News of the Council's devastating defeat spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Ambassador Thomas Reed stood in Earth's new embassy on the Arkan homeworld, watching as crowds celebrated in the streets below. The tall, silver-skinned Arkans had thrown off their Council overseers just hours after learning of the battle at Arcturus. "Another system has declared independence," his aide reported, pointing to the giant holographic map. "That's the 15th one today." Thomas nodded, watching as another section of the map changed color. The Council's territory was shrinking by the hour as more races seized their chance at freedom. A transmission came through on the emergency channel. It was Admiral Stone, speaking from his flagship near the ruins of the Council fleet. "Ambassador, you need to see this. The Council's inner worlds are in chaos. Their own defense forces are refusing to fight." The main screen showed scenes from across Council space. On dozens of worlds, ships meant to maintain the Council's control were standing down. Some were even joining the rebels. "They're not just refusing to fight," Thomas replied. "They're actively helping the revolution. The Council's lies are exposed, and their own people are turning against them." Dr. Miller's voice joined the conversation from her new research center on Mars. "The technical data we shared about the Council's hidden technology has convinced many of their scientists to defect. They're sick of watching advanced research being suppressed. The revolution was spreading faster than anyone had expected. The Council had ruled through fear and lies for thousands of years. Now that their weakness was exposed, everything was falling apart." Captain Hayes and the Nightshade were leading a task force to protect newly liberated worlds. His latest report appeared on the screen. "Council loyalists attempted to retake the Centauri colonies. We drove them off with help from local defense forces. The people here are burning Council flags and raising Earth's banner alongside their own." Thomas walked to his private office, where a secret meeting was about to begin. Representatives from 30 former Council worlds waited to speak with him. They had all reached the same conclusion. The old order was dead, and humanity had killed it. "Your victory showed us the truth," the Arkan leader said, his silver skin gleaming. "The Council wasn't all-powerful. They were just bullies who kept everyone else down. But humans, you showed us that even their best technology could be beaten. And now they're running scared," another alien leader added. "Their own military is deserting them. Centuries of lies are being exposed." Thomas raised his hand for quiet. "Earth doesn't want to replace the Council as rulers of the galaxy. We want partners, equals. That's why we're sharing our quantum technology with all liberated worlds." The alien leaders looked at each other in surprise. They had expected Earth to keep its advantages secret, just as the Council had done. This was something new in galactic politics, genuine cooperation. "Sir," Thomas's aide burst into the room. "The Council, they're asking for surrender terms." The room erupted in cheers. On the main screen, the galactic map continued to change as more systems declared their independence. The Council's territory had shrunk to just a handful of core worlds. Admiral Stone's hologram appeared again. "It's not just surrender. Their entire government is collapsing. High Chancellor Vex has fled to unknown space. The Council chamber itself is empty." Thomas looked at the alien leaders gathered in his office. They represented civilizations far older than humanity, yet they were looking to Earth for guidance. Humanity's spirit of innovation, determination, and cooperation had inspired something unprecedented, a peaceful revolution across the stars. "Tell all Earth forces to hold position," Thomas ordered. "But keep watching for any tricks. The Council's leadership might be gone, but their loyalists won't give up easily." As the meeting continued, Thomas thought about how quickly everything had changed. Just months ago, Earth had faced extinction. Now they were helping to build a new galactic order, one based on mutual respect instead of fear and domination. The revolution wasn't over, but its success was already certain. The age of the Council was ending, and a new era of freedom was beginning. End of Part 6. 1 year after the Battle of Arcturus, Admiral James Stone stood at the same window where he had watched the Mars colony burn. But this time, he was watching something very different. A massive fleet hung in Earth's orbit, not as invaders, but as allies and friends. Ships of every design and size filled the sky. Human vessels flew alongside alien craft from dozens of freed worlds. Their combined fleet was larger than anything the Council had ever commanded, but it stood for protection, not domination. "Quite a view, isn't it?" Dr. Rose Miller said, joining him at the window. "Hard to believe this all started because they thought we were primitive." Stone nodded, remembering those first tense moments. The Council's biggest mistake was assuming that being younger meant being weaker. They never understood what makes humans special. The door opened, and Ambassador Thomas Reed entered, looking tired but satisfied. He had just returned from the first meeting of the new Galactic Alliance, the organization that was replacing the old Council. "It's official," Thomas announced. "The last Council loyalists have surrendered. High Chancellor Vex was found hiding in a remote mining colony. The old regime is completely finished." On the main screen, they could see the results of their victory. The Mars colony had been rebuilt, bigger and better than before. But now it wasn't just humans living there. Aliens from various species had made it their home, bringing their own knowledge and culture to share. "The Arcan scientists want to expand their research partnership," Rose reported. "They're amazed by how quickly we developed quantum technology. Said it would have taken them centuries to think of the solutions we found in months." "That's what they all say," Thomas added. "Every species has its strengths, but they're all fascinated by human creativity. We see problems differently, find solutions they'd never consider." Captain Michael Hayes appeared on the command screen, transmitting from the Nightshade. His ship was leading a joint patrol with alien vessels, teaching them Earth's innovative combat tactics. "Admiral, the new defense network is online," Michael reported. 20 systems linked together, sharing technology and resources, just like you wanted, strength through unity. Stone smiled. The network had been his idea, a way to protect freed worlds without controlling them. Each member contributed what they could and received protection in return. It was everything the Council wasn't: fair, open, and based on mutual respect. "The Council ruled for 10,000 years, Thomas said quietly. "They thought their power would last forever, but they forgot something important. The strongest steel is forged in the hottest fire. By threatening Earth, they forced us to become stronger than anyone thought possible." Through the window, they watched as a group of newly commissioned ships took off from Earth. Their crews were mixed, humans working alongside aliens, learning from each other. Each ship carried the new symbol of the Galactic Alliance, Earth's olive branches surrounding a star, representing unity and peace through strength. "The latest reports are in," Rose said, checking her datapad. 50 more worlds want to join the Alliance. They've seen how we treat our allies, how we share technology instead of hoarding it. They want to be part of something better than the Council. Stone thought about everything that had changed. Earth had faced extinction and emerged as a leader of a new galactic order. But they hadn't done it through fear or domination. They'd won by showing there was a better way. "Send a message to all Alliance ships," Stone ordered. "The future we fought for is here. Together, we've created something the Council never could. A galaxy where every species can reach its full potential, where innovation is celebrated, not controlled, where strength comes from cooperation, not fear." As if in response, the combined fleet in orbit began a coordinated light display. Thousands of ships lit up the sky, their formations spelling out a message visible from Earth's surface. United we stand. The Council had thought they were punishing Earth. Instead, they had sparked a revolution that changed the galaxy forever. Humanity had not only survived, they had shown the way to a better future for all species. And this was just the beginning. End of Part 7. The End.